With the wintry months continuing on, forcing me to stay huddled under a blanket inside, I was able to spend the time grinding through winter anime that aired this season. We were spoiled for choice, with 51 shows airing this season, which featured only 12 shows that received a passing audience score on AniChart. Most were isekai anyways, so what remains that was appealing turned out to mostly be sequels, with one exception. Obviously, the list of shows that I did not watch is very long, so I can only mention the very best anime that ended this season. On the list of shows that did not make the cut for me, there's Nier Automata, which I have not played or followed ever, which seemed to not really hit with the viewers either, so I decided to pass on that even before it went on hiatus due to production issues. And there's also Bungo Stray Dogs that came back for a fourth season. I wasn't on Tumblr originally when it aired, so I was never really hyped up for it, but it was the second highest rated show this season on my anime list with an 8.63, which is really impressive. And then the third highest score from this season on my anime list goes to Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon 4 Part 2, or Danmachi Season 4 Part 2 for us normal people. I've seen up to Season 3 and was holding off on Season 4, but I don't really see myself hopping back on the train despite the high ranking, considering all the anime that I'm going to be watching in the upcoming spring season. Circling back around to the anime that aired and finished in winter 2023, there are 6, with only one continuing over to spring, that being one of my top 25 all-time for certain, Vinland Saga Season 2. I'll speak more about Vinland Saga in my next video when the second season wraps up, but for now I will say that if you have not seen the first season, get on it and catch up now. Season 2 episode 9 was one of the single best episodes of an anime I have ever seen and is a prime example of what the medium can do to display human emotions in a style that only anime can express them in. Please catch up on this historical action drama if you are not already. The first season follows Thorfinn, a young Icelandic lad who loses his father and has to journey with the man who killed him as they raid and pillage, giving him no choice but to become a killer to avenge his father, who taught him there is no situation where it is okay to take a life. Like I said earlier, this is one of the all-time greats, and the second season is living up to it. Even if the second season so far is a slow burn farming simulator, it should be a testament to how good the show truly is. The next 5 shows are the ones that have all finished in the winter 2023 season. 3 of them started in fall 2022, and I talked about them in my previous video, and I'm excited to discuss them in more depth today. There's To Your Eternity Season 2, My Hero Academia Season 6, and Blue Lock. First, we have To Your Eternity Season 2, a continuation from fall 2022 and of the same story that we saw in spring 2021 by the same creator as A Silent Voice. The first episode of the original series is also an all-timer for a single episode of an anime, just like Violet Evergarden. You already know the episode I'm referring to. The story continues following our beloved immortal ball known as Fushi as it tries to learn what it means to be human while saving humanity from the Knockers. Like the first season, the sequel ran for 20 episodes, which was, per usual, more of a slow burn until about the 2/3 mark where the action really started to hit, and boy did it come in like a wrecking ball. The quality of the show never dipped once, and the twisting narrative of the conflicts within Fushi, the characters around him, and the world lead to an interesting journey. The debates on who's using who, does Fushi need humanity? Does humanity need Fushi? All of these questions that are raised sway you back and forth as the series goes on. This show won't quite move you to tears the same way A Silent Voice might have, but it still has the deep negative emotional themes, and overcoming those obstacles are the core of the series. If you can handle these slow burns, I would still suggest hopping onto this show. Let's talk about My Hero next. A lot of people were turned off by the previous seasons, which I get. The high school culture festival doesn't have a place in the shonen series, and the viewers of the genre aren't expecting irrelevant little tangents like that, which is exactly why filler gets skipped. However, in Season 6, when the isekai hits the fan, right in the first episode, the show lets you know that things are about to get intense for a while. The first half of the season, to be exact. There's a giant raid where every hero fights every villain, and things quickly get out of hand, and we see multiple characters actually die. The rest of the season is dealing with the consequences in a depression arc as the world as they know it has changed forever as a result of the actions of every party up to that point in the franchise. If you were turned away from My Hero Academia by the previous seasons, I would suggest coming back to give Season 6 a chance. It's pretty self-contained, and the next season seems to be bound to be more of an encore in terms of shonen battle magnitude. Speaking of shonen battles, Blue Lock, another carryover from Winters, seems to have been a very polarizing anime to the community. You either love it so much that you change your entire Discord profile to be Blue Lock themed, or you hate it because the show is pointless, or stupid, or it doesn't make sense, or maybe you're just not a competitor. Blue Lock, which inspired even the Japanese national team in the 2022 World Cup, is a sports anime that really turns the sports aspect down and turns it into a grind for self-improvement. I saw a comment on one of the episodes asking if this was the best sports anime of all time, and there were about 40 replies that were all saying something similar that made me realize 1. These people have terrible taste, and 2. Blue Lock isn't really the same type of sports anime like the top response Haikyuu, which I agree is a great sports anime, but not a single person said Chihaya Furu or March Comes In Like a Lion, which are kind of the top of the category in my opinion. But those two series are not focused on the sport itself. Haikyuu has the sport mentality where the team works together to be great and everybody improves and tries to be their best to master their position within the team. Blue Lock takes the sport, the rules, and the core concepts and trashes it, only to focus on the individual. Even when they have to work together, they're still on the grind alone. From that standpoint, it's similar to a shonen style where the protagonist gets strong, battles strong opponents, fails, and then they get stronger for the next time around in some sort of training arc. Which I believe this is why, in part, that it's such a captivating show for me anyways. Soccer isn't played in this anime about playing soccer, but there are some fast-paced character developments that get ego-checked, pun intended, at the end. Blue Lock also gets a gold star for casting an English voice actor to play an Englishman that has about 4 lines in the show. I would love to see more native-speaking voice actors in anime in the future, especially if they're all speaking English like they did here in Blue Lock. Overall, I think Blue Lock is at the top of the sports category, and I really loved watching it every week, and I'm really excited to see how the series continues going forward. The remaining 2 shows I'm here to talk about both started and finished this season, and one of them is in the I can't believe it's not isekai genre, and the other is my pick for the best anime of this season. Obviously the former, Bofuri, is not my vote for the best, but it's still a decent watch. It brings something new to the genre in that it's a better version of the Rising of the Shield Hero. However, it does still have its fair share of sus CGI, but that's like for 3 minutes of one episode and, not like half the season. So, it's still doing better in that department. The full title being Bofuri, I'll max out my defense so I don't get hurt, is, as the name suggests, a show that takes place in a video game where our protagonist breaks the game by putting all of their attribute points into, you guessed it, defense. I'll be honest, I really didn't care if the show got a second season or not. I didn't hate it, and I am talking about it here, so that is pretty good praise. The show is a continuation of the first season with the same characters, still in the same antics with our same protagonist who broke the game, so if you like the first season, watch the second. Otherwise, check it out if you want to. It's not really anything you're going to miss too hard. And now, for the moment I hope you have all been waiting for, it's time for our anime of the season. And this may come as a surprise to some of you, but I have Trigun Stampede as the one to watch from winter 2023. When the first episode aired, we had a lot of initial backlash from the CGI haters, which I can't believe we've been saying this for 6 years now, but Studio Orange does not miss with its CG. The animation is smooth, crisp, and fluid, and the environments are so well crafted no matter where the scene is, where the story takes place. The settings are all vibrant and in-depth and actually really nice. The animation is smooth, crisp, and fluid, and the environments are so well crafted no matter where the scene is or where the story takes the setting. For what turned out to be a prequel anime to the original Trigun, which I've not seen, I thoroughly enjoyed following along the journey. I probably missed a lot of references to the original, and I will be adding it to my plan to watch list and try to get on it before the second season airs. By about the halfway point of the show, I was hooked a lot harder than I was initially, and I'm very glad that I stuck with it. During the climax, the animation was god tier and full of Saga, which I can only show a small amount of to entice you as I want to avoid spoilers. A little touch I also enjoyed was the art that was included at the end of the episodes. Surely you didn't skip the opening and the ending for this show, right? Right? I just might be editing some of the artwork in the backgrounds and wallpaper engine because they're just such a vibe for me. The story itself has some awkward pacing at times, but by the end, it's exactly where it needs to be to have a gripping climax and a comfortable resolution. I'm very excited to see where the second season will go, as it looks like it may be adapting the original anime now, which I'm sure will be even more divisive than when this show started back in January. Overall, Trigun Stampede gets very high marks, and I really suggest that you check it out, as I think it is the best show from winter 2023. I hope this video helped guide you in the right direction, because my opinion is both simultaneously always correct and always trash. And I stand by what I like, and I hope you have found something that you can enjoy from this season. Starting this video, I'm also adding a little section here at the end for all of the openings, endings, and OSTs that have made it onto my daily playlist, so if you're looking for more songs to listen to, I hope this helps a bit. That's gonna be it for the winter 2023 season. What was your favorite show? Is there anything I missed? I'm very much looking forward to spring 2023, and there may just be a video or two about one of the shows airing during next season. So please watch more anime, and as always, thank you for watching.